Folks, at this time on Tuesday, you normally expect Emma Robinson. Delighted that Professor Kevin Curran from Ulster University at McGee, cyber specialist and all the rest, is with us. Kevin, good to see you.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Why do we... It's TikTok again, and Americans being hung up about TikTok. If China wanted to take over the world, right, they own TikTok. They wouldn't do it with TikTok, would they?
No, they wouldn't, no. It's just that it's hugely popular. It's 2 billion users, 170 million users in the United States, but most of the social media apps like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever else are owned by American companies. So again, that...
So China could as easily say they're trying to take over us, so we don't want their companies in China. They don't do that. So what is the actual fear of TikTok?
The fear is, of course, that the US see it maybe that they could potentially spy on whatever. But we've seen that TikTok gathers no more intrusive information than other social media.
How do you know that?
Well, we know that because it's audited, and we can see the information on any network that's leaving again. And we know we can see the code of it actually and what it does. So we know that for a fact. So again, it's really down to the xenophobia, really. You know, do they trust it? Do they, whatever? But we've seen the US and China have this technology war going on for a good while, where again that they took the wings from under Huawei, which is one of the leading phone manufacturers in Europe, until they blocked them. Again, because they feared that Huawei equipment and also in the UK, we tore out all the 5G networks equipment from Huawei. Again, but what happened is, in that case, it can backfire because Huawei went off and developed their own operating system, Harmony OS, actually, which is now #1 operating system in China, overtaking iPhone's iOS.
But I guess it's nothing of a Trojan horse. They're wheeling us into the West, and eventually we'll find, your man Kevin Curran said 20 years ago, but sure, look at the place now. I guess it's a Trojan horse fear, isn't it?
They're taking a zero risk strategy, again, and also again they're going to buy it out as well. But they also fear again the content on it, that it could be repurposed again. But again, I fail to see that. I mean, TikTok will give you the content that you're really interested in. In fact, if you follow Christian preachers again, all your content will be Christian preachers again. It's not that malicious in nature by doing what it says, but the US government really are seen to be taking a zero risk.
They're saying officials, politicians, security staff across the place might be banned from having TikTok on their work phone. But sure, everybody's got, maybe people have another phone. Anyway, let's move on. Kevin, this whole issue of Freely. Now, it's not I'm a BBC man, I'm a bone proud of it, but it's ITV Channel 4 Smart TV. Just explain that for you in working person's terms.
Yeah, of course, at the moment you can go to your Smart TV and you can bring up the BBC iPlayer app and you can start playing and go and recording, and also then you can go to ITVX, you can go to Channel 4 and Channel 5. And
did you mention BBC Sounds for brilliant BBC radio programmes, including regional radio?
Exactly, but now that they want to do it is merge these British TV broadcasters again, some private, some taxpayer again, so that really what you have now is really like your Freeview menu or your FreeSat, where you bring up your channels and now you can actually connect to BBC or ITV or Channel 4 all through your app on basically it's like a viewer, but you can also do it without having an aerial or a dish as well. So it comes through
broadband.
It's coming through your broadband as well.
Kevin, let me put this to you, right? You're a father of children. You've seen the back, the front. You were there at the start of the computer age. I remember. I knew you when you were young, sitting with one of the first generations of computers. And look at you now. But you see when I put on the telly at night, and a lot of people go, "You're man." See, when people went, right, okay, who wants the BBC when you can have Netflix or Amazon Plus? Until you've watched everything on Netflix or Amazon Plus. I go home at night and go, Channel 5's contemporary documentaries are as quick turnaround as anything. Channel 4's journalism is exceptional. ITV's sport, well, we'll disagree about that, but a lot of brilliant stuff on ITV. Before we get the BBC and the terrestrial stuff, last night on BBC Two was a joy. It was deeply engaged, original content and all the rest. And I'm going, right, sitting watching a boy shearing hooves on YouTube outdoes this, not for a second. Do you think there's a bubble bursting there by way of people going, you know what, see that solid stuff, that terrestrial stuff made easy, that people still want it?
No, absolutely. Again, of course you can pay for your Netflix again, which is ad-free again, but we forget that the BBC really gives us ad-free content. Because if you go to the United States, your head will be fried within a few hours of watching ordinary TV with the amount of ads really.
What's the first thing you watch? If you've timed yourself, what's the first thing? Are you a Netflix man or what are you?
I am Netflix again, but so I'm going back over series as I watch. Like I'm going back over Narcos again because I'm running out of content on there again.
Going back over what?
Narcos.
Narcos.
Yeah, again, it's
Is that a box set?
It's it's a Netflix series again based on the hunt for Pablo Escobar.
Oh, yeah.
Again, and then it goes on to the other cartels in Cali and everywhere else. But I've got 24/7. 24/7 until I go to bed. I have the BBC News channel on in my house again. Generally, but again, it's just making it easier because a lot of people. It's not even afford. We forget about the older generation that they really can't work out the apps or whatever else. So that they
My
need.
ma doesn't want to. My ma wants to watch the telly.
They need
The stuff she
terrestrial
likes. She
TV.
likes your man, as we call your man down in Australia at the minute, the English fella walking around tramping on jellyfish. You know, she wants Attenborough, she wants the news. For her, the news is the news, ITV or BBC, you know. But then times are changing, Kevin, as well. But you're saying there's a lot of traffic with this freely stuff. And so it'll just come up and all that terrestrial stuff be in the one place.
It should be something like the Freeview app, really, so that you don't have to switch apps to go to Channel 4 or Channel 5 from BBC, and you're able to scroll down, watch live content. 50% of it will be live content, and 50% of it will be stored, whatever else again.
And you look at the archive the BBC has, it's not a better archive in the world. I'm not just saying that because I work for them. Anyway, folks, keep an eye out that this side of the summer, Freely is expected to become more widely available. But I don't know what Temu is. Temu. I don't even online shop. I do very occasionally, Kevin. What is Temu? Does it matter?
Temu is the number one shopping app in the UK.
There you go.
It's only been out about a year.
What do I know?
It's used by, so even America, 223 million use it. More people use it in America than they use TikTok.
Wow.
So Temu is this app which comes up and is really, well, I won't say everything. It's generally geeky products, household appliance objects again.
You do a lot of that, I bet you. Do you do a lot of that?
I did use it, but what I found, a lot of the stuff I got was actually below what the standard. In other words, that it looked so much better in the image, but the prices were so unbelievable. I had to try it. But again, so many people
Unbelievably good, cheap.
Unbelievably cheap, because what they do and how they manage to get these cheap products again. So a lot of them don't weigh much. They're quite compact little products again, can be shipped through the post easily, but they bypass the middleman. What they do is a team of people behind it. They strike up deals with the manufacturers in China.
Cut the middleman out.
Things can be manufactured so much.
Which we buy anyway in the shops. But Kevin, do you sense we're having conversations in this programme today about housing and how we're wanting to reconnect and put common houses at the heart of a community where we can all sit and play guitars, whatever. Do you sense that the consumer world is changing, or do people simply want to have it handy, and even handier if they can get it and cheaper if they can get it, even though that interaction on Temu or whatever is meaningless? You don't know if it was a 7-year-old made it in some sweatshop, whatever. Do you think people are changing? Because I increasingly want to buy what I need to buy from people that I can go, how you doing? Have you any tomatoes today, Davey? Have you a nice steak? You know, or, you know, local place and all the rest. I don't know. Do you think that all's changing in terms of our psychology of consumption?
Definitely, with the cost of living. Not everyone can afford to, you know, whatever, you know, have the choices maybe that you or I would have. Again, so definitely people are going to try and take shortcuts anywhere. And again, they become no fay with apps like this because they know that generally you get what you want. They've got a 90-day return policy again. So people are trusting, you know, trusted apps as well. So also the convenience again. COVID speeded up again, home deliveries and home food and whatever else again. So it accelerated what we knew was coming anyway, where the high streets of the world will never be as full as they are now.
But we marvelled at the home deliveries in COVID, and I did it myself. But I don't want to go back there. You know, now I've been meeting up with a few buddies more and more recently, the way we used to, you know, back in 1941, and it feels right and it feels restored. You know what I mean, Kevin? Meeting people, doing actual stuff.
Yeah, apart from my fresh food though, but I've been, everything I buy is online for years.
Is that right?
It has been for years. Again, my kids are 23 and 21 now. They've never been inside a bank. I was doing my, you know, all online banking and even postal before that. They've never been in a bank.
Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Maybe there's nothing bad about that. Maybe it's even better that you're doing it that way because it's easier on planet Earth.
No, it's
you're not having to heat the bank up. You're not having to pay human beings a wage. You know, we can talk about that all day. Maybe, but I don't know.
Well, none of us wants empty high streets again, you know, and there's a social element to going on as well. So, but unfortunately, people will optimize to save money, really. And there is a convenience with online shopping. There just is. It just comes and you know the return policies are becoming even easier now in post office, wherever else, you know, because the one thing that was a pain and is a pain in computing is printing. Printers never work, even for tech people. We get as frustrated with printers. Now you go to post office, you'd have to bring your barcode with you and they print out the sticker and return policy. Even that's getting easier again to return things.
There'll be an app, you make a fortune, there'll be an app that'll chew the food for you on your plate. And you go to the app, it'll chew the food and you go, there you go, chewit.com. I don't know. Kevin, thank you very much indeed. An in-depth glance there into worlds that I really don't understand much. And I guess I might say I don't want to understand a lot of that stuff. I just want to live a simpler life. But these are where the millions and billions of quid are Temu and TikTok and all the rest. You all know about it. Folks, 1:10, Mark Potters, 20 minutes of Mark Potters. I want to go back to Ebrington. I want to talk about Botox regulation. I want to talk about squirrels. Apparently the squirrels of Eglinton are having a chance because of the pine martens. There's a war going on in Eglinton, and we need to hear a little four-legged war going on in Eglinton. We need to hear all about it. I'll see you in 10 minutes. For now, the time is 1 o'clock.
On BBC Sounds, your radio, TV and smart speaker, this is The Northwest at 1 on BBC Radio Foyle.